Welcome. For those of you just joining, my name is Sarah. I'm a mom and an astrologist, and today I want to share with you all things Pisces. The fact that we're in Pisces season, the fact that we have a Pisces new moon that happened, if you're in Central Time, about 1:20 this morning. I'm going to do a carpool. Hello, Erica. And we're going to talk about new moon intentions as well, and hopefully I can help you craft what your new moon intention is. Hello, hello, hello. So in the comments, if you can share with me where you are coming from, that would be wonderful. If you have pen and paper, taking some notes might be helpful. I am going to be posting the replay of this on my YouTube channel, so you'll have that as well. And so the first thing to know is, let's talk about Pisces season. We entered Pisces season on Saturday. No, you didn't miss me, Erica. I had issues with technology. So there's that. Oh, I hope it's warm in California. It is snowing here in Minnesota. So Pisces season is the season, it's the end of our zodiac year, which means it's the end of the signs. They start with Aries and they go all the way through Pisces. So it's a culmination of all of the signs in one. There's an element of unconditional love. You'll have to define what cold is for you, my friend, because what's cold to you might be not so cold to me. But then again, California is a pretty long line up there, I guess is the best way to say it. All right, so where was I? Oh yes, Pisces. So Pisces is all about unconditional love. Okay, we're going to put that there. It's all about unconditional love. It's all about going inside. It's a very deep water sign. So there's 3 water signs. There's Cancer, which when I think of a lake or an ocean is like the playful energy of it. There's Scorpio that is just right underneath it. True, it is not as cold as it is here. And then there is Pisces, which since it's such a spiritual sign, is kind of like the vapor that comes off of things, if you want to think of it that way. So with that Pisces energy, it invites us to go in and figure out where we are spiritually, where we are in tune with our intuition. There might be if you are a sun, moon, or rising Pisces, knowing your boundaries and setting boundaries is always very important as well, because there's an element of dissolvingness that sometimes happens with that signature. Pisces also is, the archetype of itself is unseen enemies. It's going deep and connecting to the divine, whatever that looks like to you. And where it shows up in your chart is how you see it in your world. Okay? Now, if you go to the link in my bio, there's a birth chart freebie. It teaches you how to cast your own birth chart. You do need to know your time of birth, your location, and your date of birth. And then you can see what house Pisces is in for you. And when you do that, it's like you can craft the intention during Pisces season to kind of go inside with that so you flow with it. Because Pisces is all about flow. It could include spiritual purging. That's a really good, that's a really great question. If it's in your 7th house, it might also be about relationships and partnerships. Relationships do not always need to be about romantic. It could be business. It's usually the one-on-one relationships is what 7th house is about. I have it starting in my 12th house. So this is what a chart looks like. I printed mine off. This is my birth chart. And then what I wrote on the outside is where the planets are for this new moon and where the full moon is. The highlighted areas that you see are where the different touch points will be of the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the last quarter moon, which is where things kind of come to light. So sometime today, in the next 12 to 24 hours, is a really great time if you do the intention setting to really think about what is it that your intention is that you would like to call forth during this new moon. So this new moon, to give you some ideas of some of the themes that I see in the chart, it was sitting right next to Saturn. So our sun and our moon were very close to Saturn. It's called a conjunction. And it's almost like they were holding hands. So Pisces to me is all about the dreams that you have and the aspirations that you have and the things that you just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. And Saturn is the great teacher. It wants to have structure. So to have these two sitting next to each other, it's like we're being invited to take our dreams and the thing that really makes our heart happy and really brings us joy, and how can we put structure to it? So today is a really great day to really ponder that. What are some of the things that really brings you joy? And what can you do to put structure to it? Now, Saturn is work. It's not necessarily going to be easy. There's work involved because Saturn teaches you things. It's the lessons that we learn in your chart natally. So this isn't like, oh, I'm going to dream I'm going to have $1 million and it happens. It's not that kind of a thing. If you have, like Erica, I know you love to do cakes. If something like that, we had talked a little while ago about you getting in touch with somebody in the Marine Corps to see if there was a way for you to work with vets about cake decorating. So putting structure to that might be something, if that falls in your chart where it is. Knowing where your chart is helpful for figuring that out. So when you look at the houses, I want you to look at your rising sign. So I am a Taurus rising, and rising signs are a little bit more accurate than sun signs because sun signs are very general, but rising signs are based on the time that you were born and where. So they're very specific. So for this new moon, the houses that are affected by your rising sign are this. So if you are an Aries rising sign, it's going to be about your mental health. It is going to be about your spirituality, maybe the ways that you isolate yourself or spiritual liberation. If you have a Taurus rising, your friends, your community, mentors, things that you want for your hopes and your dreams, things that support you could be highlighted during this time period. Gemini risings, it's about your reputation. It could be about your career. If you have work things that you really want to get done, that's of the bigger picture work, your profession, your relationships with authority, all of these things could come into highlight over this next cycle. Cancer rising is higher education, and could be foreign travel, divination, religion, the philosophies of life. Leo rising is investments and other people's money, not your own. Like if you are a waitress, other people's money could be about the tips that you get. Debt, things that are about death, the occult, taxes, psychology. It is tax season coming up, so there's that. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking someplace else. That was Leo rising. So Cancer is higher education, divination, foreign travel, religion, astrology, the divine masculine, and your ability to grow, adapt, and learn. Leo rising, that's where it's about investments and other people's money and debt and things about death and psychology, taxes, and fear. We do have tax season upon us after all. Virgo rising, committed relationships. So if you mentioned that your house, your Pisces is in the 7th house, you might be a Virgo rising. And so that's about committed relationships, contracts, business partners, and other contractual relationships and open enemies. Libra rising is about physical health, illness, coworkers, pets, self-improvement, things that you feel obligated by. Scorpio rising is about children, pleasure, romance, dating, sexuality, things that you might desire, creative arts. Sag rising home, family, ancestors, private self, your emotional foundation, maybe your father, maybe your father's family. Capricorn rising, communication, divination, short-term travel, so things within your city, your neighborhood, writing, anything to do with communication and learning. The divine feminine, siblings. Aquarius could be about your money, possessions, resources, and how you make a living. And if you have a Pisces rising, it's going to be about self-awareness, your identity, your appearance, your personality, the way you view yourself, your character, your primary motivation, and your family. These are the different rising signs and what themes might be coming up during this Pisces new moon. So when you consider the intentions, you take where the house that Pisces is in for you for this 1 degree of Pisces, and you think about where is it showing up for you in your life. For me, it's showing up in community building, both here and in my other business. And I have a strong desire to build and expand this community of like-minded people that want to grow and bring their dreams into reality, because that's always been something that I've felt passionate about, is to bring dreams into reality, because I know it's possible. I've seen it happen. There's a real sense of lack that we have in our culture, that you always have to go after the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then whatever you get it's not good enough. That's not what Pisces is. Pisces is knowing that if you trust, that things can happen. That's what I really believe. I was talking with somebody about this today. I have never lived, I take that back. I have started to live in a state of, I know whatever I need, when I need it, will present itself to me. It's not Pollyanna. What it is it's, if I need money and I don't have it here, I'll go have a loan, go take out a loan and figure out our finances so we can pay that loan. So it is practical, if that makes sense. Please let me know if any of this resonates with any of you in the comments, because I would love to know if my ramblings help. And while you do that, I'll take a sip of my tea. By the way, drinking water during Pisces season, extremely helpful. 100%. So looking at the chart of the new moon, I already talked about how Saturn is holding hands with the moon and the sun. And what I thought was really cool is Venus moved into Aries shortly after the new moon. So now you have just added oomph of what are you passionate about? What are you going to get excited about during this next 30-day cycle? And it's has a beautiful aspect to Pluto. So the way they're talking to each other, it could be very transformational. So it could really be great changes for your life. During this season, we also have Saturn moving into Pisces, which means for the next 2.5 years, or for the last 2.5 years, Saturn has been teaching us Aquarian lessons, and moving forward on March 7th, Saturn will be moving into Pisces, so we'll have a Piscean fiat flare. So I want you to think about what has been going on for you in the last 2.5 years. We had COVID, we had a lockdown, we had things open up. Personally for me, we got to go on our dream vacation. We went to Paris and Ireland in 2019, and it was by some fluke. Like if you have a Costco membership and you want to travel, go check out Costco Travel, because we were able to go on a 9-day trip to Paris and Ireland for a little under $7,000 for the 4 of us, including airfare, transportation to and from the airport. It was unreal. Thought it was a fluke. But that all happened during this time when Saturn was in Aquarius. Then we had our oldest graduate from high school, and they came out to us as non-binary. and they developed a community, and I was introduced to a community that I didn't know that I would love. I have friends that are part of the LGBTQ plus community, but now to be a mother of somebody in that community, that's a different feeling altogether. And I'm so proud of how authentic they felt they could be. And that takes a lot of bravery to do that. So all of that is happening. And as we move through Aquarius season, reflect on what's happened for you, what structures were put in place, what learnings did you have over the last 2.5 years, and how will you move forward with that as Saturn moves into Pisces as well. Please let me know if this resonates with any of you. As I prepare for the next part. So to help you with intention setting, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do what's called a new moon spread. And for those of you that are subscribers, at the very end, Erica, you are a subscriber. I am going to look at your chart and just share with you what I see for your new moon and maybe help you with that. If you would like to be a subscriber, all you have to do is click on the stars above my head. It's a very small donation. If you would like a full reading, you can always check out the link in my bio and we go more in depth of it as well. So what I'm doing now is what's called a new moon spread. So if you have a pen and paper handy, having that might be helpful. And this is for the collective. If it resonates with you, awesome. If it feels, I'm not so sure, write it down. Maybe it will make more sense to you as the month progresses. If you need to look at the replay of this, I am putting it on YouTube after TikTok does its thing. So for the new moon spread, we're going to be using Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. That's what I always love to use with my clients. And we're going to be pulling 6 cards. And the 6 cards will be answering 6 different questions. And I'll go through each of the questions as I go through the spread. I love this for clarity. And if you're having difficulty trying to figure out what your new moon intention is, maybe this will help you as well. All right. So this is for the new moon of Pisces, for guidance and our intentions and what we can move forward with and expect over this next 30-day period. I ask for 1 card per question, please. What do I need to know about the quality of my current intention for the collective? This is a collective reading. So question number 1, what do I need to know about the quality of my current intention? What do I need to know about the quality of my current intention? Well, you gave me 3 cards. That's not very helpful. What do I need to know about the quality of my current intention? Please tap the screen if you wish to get connected to it. If you're watching this on the replay, just say connect in the comments. What do I need to know about the current quality of my current intention? There we go. That one wants to come out. How do I co-create for my most empowered self? How do I co-create for my most empowered self? How do I co-create for my most empowered self? All right. What action do I need to take in order to ignite the magic of my intention? What action do I need to take in order to ignite the magic of my intention? What do I need to do to co-create my highest good at this time? What do I need to do to co-create my highest good at this time? Thank you. What is my potential outcome of my intention? And how, if at all, do I course correct to better in alignment with my intentions for the highest good? All right. Thank you. All right, so we have our 6 cards, and I am going to read the guidebook. And I always do that because this is a collective. We're doing, for those just joining, I just pulled 6 cards for the new moon spread. And if this resonates with you, tell me in the comments, tap the screen, let me know if it resonates for you. I asked 6 questions to help us figure out our new moon intentions and what this Pisces new moon might bring to you. The first question is, what do I need to know about the quality of my current intention? And so the quality of it is beloved, which is radical acceptance. And I always read from the guidebook when I do collective things like this, because what I could interpret, I don't want to influence what I could interpret with what it means for you. So I'm hoping that this means something for you. And the question we're answering again is, what do I need to know about my quality and my current intention? So beloved means an object of affection, radical acceptance, and loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze it. The beloved is on schedule to drop the busyness to receive the one you have been waiting for. Know that this card comes to mirror to show you the divine within you and invite radical acceptance for everything you've considered beautiful or ugly in your being. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling your full attention. Love it, let it light up on you, and give you it all. Didn't we just talk about how this new moon is talking about what brings you joy and how can you put structure in it? Interesting. Surrender to its truth and know that we're gaining passport to bliss. Even when it feels like you're being consumed by the fire of the beloved, do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender by its key, allow yourself for the beloved, usher the harsh critic out the door, and shut the ears and eyes to the judgment for others. Be careful that you are not seduced by false promises or fall prey to the extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams or desires. Sink into your heart, SYNC, and sink like in your heart, to trust your sense. The true beloved was never false. Every gift is profound and valuable. Recognize the many faces of beloved and welcome him into your heart. So it is interesting, Erica. So that is what we need to know about the quality of our intention. So to me, what this says is, if we're going from a source of joy, a source of what lights us up, then the intention is pure. That's what it feels like to me. Let me know if that sounds like it is for you too. The second question is, how do I co-create for my most empowered self? And we have Winter's Dream, gestation period for that card. And that's number 63. Hello, Alicia. All right, so again, how do I co-create for my most empowered self? We got Winter's Dream, gestation period, sanctuary, conscious awareness. Again, we kind of talked about that too. The Winter's Dream is summons to go within. I just got chills because we just talked about that. Your life force, along with turning inward, is like the sap of trees returning to the roots. Cast your gaze deep into the hidden places of your heart. Come to rest again in the sanctuary and safety of your soul and be at peace, basking in your crystalline clarity in the quiet place. This is not hibernation. Do not fall asleep. Take your quiet, wakeful nature with you to the stillness and know that you're replenishing your life force. Trust that deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the ones planted even before you were born, are stirring softly and ready to awaken with the spring. But do not try to rouse them early. Instead, surrender to the quiet winter's dream. Winter's dream can lull you into slumber, where you can lose consciousness and become caught in a nightmare. Awaken, awaken. Find easy to return to wakefulness that brings you clarity. This time is set priorities in order to not act on them. Allow for clarity and transparency, which comes from winter's dream, to not permeate your heart, or that to permeate your heart and soul. The time for action will come later. So basically what I'm thinking this is saying is to really consider what is it that you want to move forward with. It's like reflecting with what maybe was inside of you. All things are born of dreams. It is your task to wake up within the dream, lucidly guide it to the chosen direction. So we did talk about how with the Pisces moon and sun being next to Saturn, putting structure to the dreams. So I believe this is totally something that is how we create it. Interesting. What are your thoughts? I need to drink a little bit more tea. While you're writing out your thoughts, I'm going to go with the third question, which is what action do I need to take in order to ignite the magic of my intention? And we have dances on one foot, balancing act. All right, that's number 9. All right, so we have balancing act, resourcefulness, saying yes to life. And this is all about what action do I need to take in order to ignite the magic of our intention. When dances with one foot shows up, you will recall to find new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step may seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult the relationship seems. If you're putting too much effort into managing life, work, relationship, family, and the digital media, you're missing the point. You've been dancing while juggling your life, knowing that all at one time, half of it's going up in the air. It's not that you're doing too much or finding it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you're confusing readiness with preparation. You will never be fully prepared for all the challenges in life, but you will be ready to say yes to the new invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to the spirit and no to everything that does not infuse your life with romance, vitality, and sacred. You'll be surprised by how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged by how to work with resourcefulness available to you and will not be seduced by the belief that if you only had more. Life has provided with you with everything you need to accomplish with your goals to fulfill your mission. When it feels like you're losing balance, do not contract. Hold your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach out and extend to the fully and saying yes to Spirit's steadying hand. So this is all about what action do I need to take in order to ignite the magic of my intention. That one, it resonated a lot with me as well, Erica. All right, so question number 4 is what do I need to do to co-create for my highest good? So the last one was about igniting the magic. Now we want to know what's going to do to co-create my highest good at this time. And for this one, we have the wall, which is 56. All right, so we have the wall. Obstacles, being inconvenienced by life, detours, and non-action. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up that you're on track with the divine and the momentum, that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictability occurs outside of your ability to plan, regardless of what you've done right in alignment with the divine. Now it's imperative that you change your attitude now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. It is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about if you'll win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down, contemplate, and being part of the manifesting equation. We've been talking about, oh my goodness. Life on life's terms will override your best laid plans. Yes, it is inconvenient as it may seem. This experience is important to remember that you are a human being and not human doing. Perhaps you're being reminded of your morality or that you are but a small part of the universe. Where your destiny intersects with others, your life may be meant to serve others' purpose. Your intention is meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider the place of temporary non-action for meant to be you. Perhaps it's because all you desire you have set in motion at this time to coalesce into form rather than to the side. Could it be all the elements are not yet in place for the manifestation to be in the highest good for all? Patience is required now, the wisdom that may be a great time to break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you. So that is what we need to know to co-create. So basically it's saying to me, what is meant for me will always happen for me. I maybe just don't need to force it. What does it sound like for you? It's a very interesting thought, isn't it? All right. So now we have, what is the potential outcome of my intention? So whatever your intention is for the Pisces new moon, the potential outcome is contract, which is a sacred contract. Commitment, sacred contract, the greater good. You are being invited now by the universe to enter a sacred contract. The covenant card can also be called to recognize the ancient agreement you've made with spirit needs to be renewed or canceled or torn up. It is an opportunity to show up right now that is full of promise, but you are unable to sign and seal the deal to commit to it. The reason is it needs to be elevated to a sacred covenant. A covenant must be founded in truth, not your truth, or his truth, or her truth, but the greater truth, the destiny in all account. The covenant is not about your agenda only. Spirit is invited to come to the table as a guarantor of good faith to all and to ensure that direction you're embarking in will be for the greater good. It's important to understand that you're signing up for, so be sure to read the fine print. So if you're not ready to commit to something, you will soon regret or that you'll compromise your integrity. Do not hesitate to put your own cards on the table so that motives and desires are transparent. Nothing is left in the darkness. When shadow elements remain hidden, covenant breaks down and becomes a contract with unspoken dark side that's inevitably fulfilled. So basically, you have the ability to sign within yourself a commitment. And what I do is I write out my intention, and then I sit with it during the time that the moon is in Pisces. And she entered Pisces last night at 11 and will be here through tomorrow, I believe. I haven't made that video yet, so I don't have it in my head. So when you make that sacred contract, it's telling yourself, yes, I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do the thing. And that goes back to everything we talked about at the very beginning with this Pisces new moon, where the sun and the moon are holding hands with Saturn. We have our dreams here. Saturn asks us, are you willing to do the work to put your dreams into reality? And if you are, I'm here to help you make those happen for you. It does take work, though. And knowing and being okay with whatever it is and really thinking it through is great. Just make sure to move forward, because sometimes we get trapped in the what ifs, and you can't fail. I want to tell you that whatever your dream is, you can't fail. If you really want to bring something to reality and things start to fall apart, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen, because you're going to be passionate about those things. How does that sit with you? Does that even make sense? All right. We have, how, if at all, do I course correct to be in better alignment with my intentions for my highest good? All right, so that's number 38. So this is Many Masks, the Authentic Self. So without even reading this, if you need to course correct, be yourself. So there's that. The authentic self is energizing internal alliances and conscious shift. So remember, this is how, if at all, do I course correct to be in better alignment with my intentions for my highest self. We live in a world where everyone will see we wears a mask. We wear masks to cover up and protect who we really are. We learn to do so because we are very conditioned to try to appear in a certain way and to fit into society. Masks allow us to be in the beam, so while we remain within what confines all of us is expected. Masks are not inherently bad. Rather, they provide context and structure of our personalities and soul expression. Some of us might believe that a particular mask is fixed and hardened in us and is our permanent face. We forget that we're living beings with a multitude of faces, enabling us to experience fuller, more vibrant world. Your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now it's time to strip away the mask you've accepted to discover who you really are. A new life, a new self is emerging. Your perception changes when you adopt new ways of being. Right now, it is really important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience the world with all its myriad of potentials and possibilities, to try on different masks and to let yourself be fluid and curious. How will you know what you love and what resonates with you if you don't take off the mask that you've always worn and test drive some new ones? Your authentic essence will never change. It will only express itself differently through optional selves. Through trial and error, you will discover more and more about who you want to become and what it will feel like to explore that side of you. Anything is possible if you're willing to open up the potential. You can truly move beyond the barriers that society has set. Use your imagination and step into the magic. So that is our new moon spread. If you missed it because you joined us midway through, all of this will be going up on my YouTube channel, so you can take a look at that later today or tomorrow. For those of you that were here for the whole time, does that resonate with you? Does that help you bring clarity? And so I hope that this information has been helpful for you. If you're interested in looking at your own chart, be sure to check out the freebie that I have in the place that you can click in my bio. If you would like to schedule your own consultation with me, there's also information in that same place to find out where that is. And if you were a Pisces sun, happy birthday month. I do have a birthday gift for you in the regards of a solar return chart and a birth chart reading. If you've never had a birth chart reading, I would recommend doing that first and then a solar return reading. If you want to do both, you totally can. You just need to do them between now and March 20th, 2023. So thank you so much for joining. Please let me know if this information has been helpful to you in any way, shape, or form. And the replay will be on YouTube. And if I can figure out how to get it on my Instagram and Facebook, it'll be there as well. Thank you so much. And I do hope that you have a blessed day and drink lots of water.